Welcome back to another Bellator fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting some of the main card fights for Bellator 209, Pitbull versus Sanchez. So without further ado, let's get to the first fight I'll be predicting on the main card. So in our first fight, I'll be predicting on the main card, we have in the light heavyweight division, Phil Davis, Mr. Wonderful versus Vadym Nemkov. So Nemkov, very promising prospect. He looked good in his at least last two fights, most notably Liam McGreary, just kicking his legs out and just having his way with him. But looked good in that fight. Then you got Phil Davis, been around the block, was a Bellator champion until Ryan Bader came around, and he lost a very close split decision, or very close decision to Ryan Bader. Matter of fact, in both losses to Bader, they were very close. And he's fought in pretty much some of the best competition. He was in the light heavyweight division in like the top 5, top 10 for a long time, and still a very solid fighter. So as far as the style matchup goes, I don't think it's as much of a good style matchup for Vadym Nemkov as it was like in his last fight, and could play out differently from his last fight. And I actually think it's more of a favorable matchup for Phil Davis, given the people he's fought and how he's dealt with them. I think Vadym Nemkov definitely has some power, but definitely nowhere near the most power that Phil Davis has ever fought. He's not the biggest dude, maybe like kind of like a compact dude that has some muscle structure, like he has good muscle density, but still like not a Rumble Johnson, not a Glover Teixeira. But he has, like I say, he's like still young, still improving. Very good leg kicks and stuff, but that's against Liam McGreary, whose style is like a striker and puts a lot of power like on that planting foot, so it's easy to kick that. Whereas Phil Davis is somebody that's already hard to hit, and then when you do hit him, he's very durable. Like he's taken several Rumble shots, and Rumble's been taking people out with like one shot. So he has one of the better chins, or at least a respectable chin. So you can't just bank on getting one big shot. And like I said, he doesn't like, as far as Phil Davis, like people that beat Phil Davis, like he only lost 4 times. And he's fought some of the best competition. Nemkov lost twice, and he hasn't really fought in the best competition or the most well-rounded people. But it's not who you beat; it's what you got coming into this fight. I think Phil Davis is very mobile, and he's already not really somebody that plants too much. He might be able to kick his leg out, but it's not going to be to the point where it's going to make Phil Davis kind of wobbly on the leg, because Phil Davis already kind of fights, not really planting on his feet, because I don't know, he has a weird style. He doesn't really commit too much, so it's not like you're going to necessarily take his legs out too much unless you're really timing him well. And it's not like Phil Davis can be standing there for him to be hit. Like I said, Phil Davis is one of the harder people to hit, even though that's like something really people kind of forget. Then he has a hard chin, like I said. Then he has that wrestling pace, and he has that solid NCAA champion wrestling and the pace of that, and he has that size, that frame. I think as far as the striking goes, Nemkov might have a little bit of power, but I think that striking is pretty much around the same. I think Phil Davis might be able to outpoint him as far as striking. I think Nemkov will have a little bit of power. Phil Davis will be a little bit better with the point fighting, a little bit better with the movement. Wrestling, Phil Davis is going to be the bigger fighter. He's going to be the more, had a better cardio. He's going to be able to implement that wrestling. He's always aggressive with that wrestling, because it's not like he's somebody that has super knockout power or consistent knockout power on the feet. So he always has a mix in the wrestling. So he's always going to train that. He's always going to be aggressive with that to at least make the opponent respect that. So against Nemkov, I think Phil Davis will be able to like pick him apart from the outside. You know, in his typical Phil Davis way, kind of awkward, moving around, but throwing shots, not really taking too many shots. And then when mixing in his takedowns and mixing in his shots to keep Nemkov honest, securing some takedowns. Also, Nemkov doesn't really have, let's see, like reactive submission abilities. Not like he has some good guillotine. Phil Davis has top-notch jiu-jitsu offense and defense. So it's gonna be, like I said, it's a tough matchup for Vadym Nemkov. It's not like a good matchup for him. And Phil Davis' pace and his experience is gonna win it for him. I think he's gonna be able to mix it up on the feet, make the right movements when needed to, secure takedowns, secure positions, outpoint him, out-wrestle him, out-strike him, and win a pretty clear-cut decision. It's not gonna be like, no, I don't think it's gonna be like his most best performance by Phil Davis, but it's kind of a textbook Phil Davis type fight. So in this fight, I have Phil Davis via decision. Then on to our next fight, we have in our co-main event, Ham Ghazali versus Ryan Couture. In this fight, I don't even know why it's been made. I don't know why it's on this card. I don't know why it's above Phil Davis versus Vadym Nemkov. It's really a fight that nobody really care about at all. But it's a rematch between these two, and they just fought like last year, maybe a little more than a year ago, in 2017 in June. So just a little bit more than a year ago. And neither of them really has changed too much. Goloff's still not really that great a fighter, but you're in the game, and he's he's fighting and he's competing, so you gotta give him his respect. You got Ryan Couture. He was in the UFC. He was in Strikeforce. He has some decent wins on the record. And we look at his losses. He hasn't only lost to killers, really. Like Ross Pearson, when Ross Pearson was doing what he's doing. Quinta was good then. It's even better now. But yeah, Ryan Couture has basically only lost to killers. He lost to Patricio Pitbull, one of the hardest hitters in the lightweight division, regardless of league. Lost to Sada Awad, another one of the hardest hitters, regardless of league. So he lost to only killers. So you look at his record. He might have lost to maybe Matt Ricehouse was the only one that you can kind of say that's not really a true killer. But everybody outside that has been like true killers as far as people he lost to. So Ryan Couture really only lost to good people. Whereas Hyman goes off, really, who has he really beat? Who has he really lost to besides Ryan Couture? And like I said, it hasn't been too long, and neither of them has changed too much. I think Golovkin might got a little bit better strike, a little bit better with grappling defense, but I think Ryan Couture could hold his own on the feet. Then I think on the ground, I think Ryan Couture will be able to hold the the offensive position, hold the top positions, and just do what he needs to do to win. I don't think that's gonna be like pretty much a replay of the old fight. I mean, the last fight was a little bit of adjustments. Gozali will have his chances, but I think Ryan Couture would just beat him the same way he beat him the first time, basically. Grind him out, boring decision, Ryan Couture. So in this fight, I got Ryan Couture via decision. Then on to our main event, we have a featherweight title fight in the featherweight division. Patricio Freire versus Emmanuel Sanchez. So I kind of messed that one up a little bit, but you know who it is. Patricio Freire versus Emmanuel Sanchez. Interesting fight. Actually interesting fight. It's not I'm just thinking it's interesting. It's actually an interesting matchup. Emmanuel Sanchez has had an interesting career. Kind of started off grinding out these split decisions in Bellator as far as his Bellator career goes. And then he's eventually started to find his own groove, and it started getting more dominated like performances, started getting some finishes, even over a former champion. So his career has definitely started shifting. His skills started to come together. Everything started to click for him. So he's in a good momentum. And you got Patricio Freire, a beast, been a champion, lost the belt, regained it, solid everywhere, solid on the feet, got some power in his hands, got some speed, got some timing, got a great guillotine. Great on the ground, so he's solid everywhere. He's a champion. He's one of the champions that's like a real champion. They're good everywhere, killer everywhere. There's no place to rest with him. And definitely, you start showing fatigue, he will kill you. He's a true killer. He got the old school style of mentality. It's like he's going out there to kill you. He's not going out there to play. He's going out there to kill. So now, as far as style go, Emmanuel Sanchez, I think, a little bit younger. He brings a pace where he's not like going to be somebody that's going to be so amazing on the feet like an Israel Adesanya or no S.M. Barboza, Anderson Silva type striker, or I don't know, like really no type of phenomenal striker. He's not no phenomenal wrestler like no Khabib or Romero or nobody like that. But what he is, he's one of those people that has a good size. He might not look like no bodybuilder, but he's very physically strong. He pushes a high pace, and he just really breaks people down. He just breaks them down with constant pace, constant that constant in your face and constantly breaking you down. He's real strong for the weight class. Even though he may not look like it, like as far as like muscles, bulging muscles and stuff, he's very heavy, very strong, very in your face. And he will break you down and finish you if you like this wilt. He will finish you, but he's not somebody like you keep giving him some go. He'll keep coming at you nonstop. That's basically what I'm saying. He's one of those fighters that's, like I said, he's not super standout-ish in no area, but what he does have is that grind. He has that physical strength and that grind. He does have some power on the feet. He can hurt you. He could deal with you on the feet, respectable on the feet. But what's most respectable is his ability to pressure and to grind. Then you got, like I said, Patricio Freire. I think he's gonna have that advantage over Freire because Freire, like I say, he's solid everywhere. And, he might be like a smaller featherweight. He's very strong himself. He got that monkey strength. And he got that power. He got that pop. He'll definitely have a huge striking advantage, and he will be able to deal with Sanchez's aggression. He'll probably welcome the aggression so he can land some counter shots. Like he does, he has some fast hands, some real good power. Just like his older brother, he can knock you out at any second if he lands clean. Can't play with him. But I think it's gonna be one of those exciting fights. Gonna be back and forth. Sanchez using his pressure to push forward. Freire trying to land big shots, them trading. Both landing big shots, landing hard shots. But I think Freire is just going to be the more technical abilities, going to beat out Sanchez's aggression and his force, his strength is going to be beaten out by Freire's technical abilities and his experience. I think he's going to be able to land the bigger shots more often. And then when they start to, when you get into those second and third round, he's going to turn on, put on his championship belt. He's going to pull out that belt, turn up that notch to a notch that Sanchez really hasn't seen yet. Just outwork him. He's going to outwork him. He's going to find those moments. He's going to capitalize, start catching them more. Shots going to be, with Sanchez's accuracy is going to dip. I think Freire's accuracy is going to pick up. And he's going to start, like I said, he's going to start landing those harder shots. And he's going to start to break Sanchez down, actually. Now I see him, when Sanchez, try to get up in your face. When people like to be real aggressive, they get up under, they try to get up in your face, try to get up under you. And that's going to set him up perfectly for a guillotine. And I see Freire snapping on a guillotine towards the end of the third, towards the mid part of the third round, and getting a third round submission. So in this fight, I have Patricio Freire via third round submission. And that concludes my fight predictions for Bellator 209, Pitbull versus Sanchez. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.